Happy New Year, or is it? I'm saying that because when you've been given a cancer diagnosis, sort of a whole 12 months in front of you, fueled with uncertainty, well, the last word that describes it is happy, isn't it? But what I want to talk to you about today is that if you're hoping that just the treatment is going to get you through this year, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And by opportunity, what I mean is the choices that you make this year are going to make all the difference in terms of survival. And when I was told that treatment wouldn't cure me, it was far too late for that. The choice that I made was to look at mind-body medicine, and the way that I chose to use my mind, I now know is in actual fact what turned things around 8 years ago. I know now that the mind is far more powerful than a lot of pharmaceutical drugs out there, and in actual fact our bodies are capable of making the most amazing form of chemistry that we can possibly imagine, that in my case actually healed me. And I've decided to do this video outside because by being outside I, in actual fact, especially when it's cold like today, had to remain more in my body than my mind. And when your mind is full of a rampage of fear, gloom, death and all the rest of it, I could use it in a different way whereby I could look to see the positive. And that sounds a bit corny and obvious, but the first thing that I did was learn how to be in my body and not my mind. And so by in my body, what I mean is choosing the earth under my feet, choosing to smell the quality of the air, to be using my breath, to take deep breaths rather than shallow ones, which is what happens when you're scared. And what this did was it slowed me down. It brought me into the present moment. You see, it's so important that we don't live too much in fear. When we live in fear, cortisol and adrenaline flood through our bodies. In natural fact, that suspends our immunity. So, why on earth would we do that? Let's stop now and replace those thoughts with other thoughts. But that sounds too easy, and you're right, because it's also about combining the feelings with the thought, because usually the thought comes before the feeling. And so by doing enjoyable things like just feeling the sun on your face, the thought becomes one of pleasure rather than negativity. So choosing to be in our bodies is the start of learning how to use our mind for the good, because we want to shift those chemicals over to the happy hormones, which in actual fact boost our immunity and restore our parasympathetic nervous system so that we can start to heal. So I suggest that you get out for a walk today, enjoy this good weather before it gets too cold, wet and windy, and just start to learn how to be in your body. Happy New Year, everyone.